Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. International crude oil futures prices rose significantly on Sunday evening, May 10, U.S. Eastern Time, May 11, Singapore Time, as peace talks between the United States and Iran faltered, increasing market risk premiums. WTI crude futures for June delivery surged by $2.91 to $98.33 per barrel, a 3.05% increase, while July delivery Brent crude futures climbed $3.13 to $104.42 per barrel, marking a 3.09% rise. U.S. President Trump stated on Truth Social that he was completely unacceptable with Iran's response. Iran's Press TV reported that Tehran rejected the U.S. proposal, viewing it as capitulating to Trump's excessive demands. This setback in negotiations, which began after a ceasefire on April 8, Singapore time, has dampened earlier market optimism for a swift agreement and the resumption of shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. This news is from Leon Lissette, Batch Brent Lil Dollars. Thai Sounds reports that U.S. government officials briefed the media on Sunday regarding the upcoming Trump-Xi summit this week. According to the briefing, U.S. President Donald Trump is scheduled to arrive in Beijing on Wednesday evening, May 13th local time. He will hold talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping on Thursday, jointly visit Beijing's Temple of Heaven, and attend a dinner. A working lunch is scheduled for Friday before Trump departs for the U.S. The visit is intended to rebalance the relationship with China, focusing on restoring U.S. economic independence through reciprocity and fairness. During the talks, the U.S. will press China on the Iran issue and discuss establishing a new economic dialogue framework, potentially including the formation of a trade committee and an investment committee between the two nations. The Taiwan issue will also be on the agenda, with U.S. officials emphasizing that America's policy toward Taiwan remains unchanged. Other sensitive topics, such as nuclear weapons, establishing communication channels for artificial intelligence, and China's dealings with Russia, will also be covered in the discussions. UPI reports that South Korea and the United States are actively strengthening their industrial and energy cooperation, with a particular focus on shipbuilding, nuclear power, and strategic investment projects. This push comes as Seoul seeks to forge a broader, long-term economic alliance with Washington. South Korean Industry Minister Kim Young-kwan visited Washington to discuss these initiatives with senior U.S. officials, including Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and White House Office of Management and Budget head Russell Vought. A significant outcome of the visit was the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding to establish a U.S.-South Korea shipbuilding partnership initiative. This initiative plans for a joint shipbuilding cooperation center to facilitate research and development, direct investment, workforce training, and information sharing, aiming to boost opportunities for Korean shipbuilders amidst U.S. efforts to reorganize maritime supply chains. Discussions also covered South Korea's MASCA project, a key strategic investment, and expanding collaboration in nuclear power and broader energy supply chains with Chris Wright and Bill Hagerty. The Japanese government is set to establish a cross-ministerial task force aimed at training workers for strategic industries, including artificial intelligence, semiconductors, quantum technology, shipbuilding, and defense manufacturing. This initiative, reported by UPI via Asia Today, is part of a broader national strategy to redirect labor into high-growth sectors, moving beyond conventional job training programs. The proposed Reskilling and Talent Development Promotion Council would operate under the Cabinet Secretariat with participation from key ministries. Japan plans to incorporate this policy into its economic growth strategy, expected this summer, and is considering tuition subsidies and a certification system for approved training programs. The move reflects concerns that skilled labor shortages in these critical sectors are escalating into industrial security issues. The article also notes implications for South Korea, which faces similar workforce challenges in its strategic industries and may need a comparable national reskilling strategy. According to Yonhap News Agency, North Korea has called on its citizens to intensify efforts for this year's grain harvest, as the nation continues to struggle with persistent food shortages. The ruling Workers' Party's official newspaper, Rodong Sinmun, published an editorial urging the public to concentrate all efforts on rice transplanting and completing it in a timely manner to achieve annual grain targets. The newspaper highlighted rice transplanting as a key business crucial for meeting production goals and party directives issued in February. It reiterated leader Kim Jong-un's emphasis on agricultural output, quoting his statement that the most urgent job facing us is to resolve people's food problems by farming the land well. North Korea typically conducts rice farming from mid-March, with transplanting concluding by late May or early June, often deploying soldiers, students, and civilian laborers for the task. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.